Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. Welcome to another edition of Super Coach. Every week, I come into your life to multiply your life and your money and your business. And today, we have a topic for you. I can't tell you how many salespeople that tell me they got a call reluctance. They're afraid of one thing, and you know what they're afraid of? Failure, fear. They're afraid of rejection. And so I'm going to give you the keys today to get out of that rejection. It's coming out of a book I wrote probably a year or 2 years ago called Swag, How to Handle Perceived Rejection. That's what we're talking today on Super Coach. And if you get this right, trust me, you will never have rejection the rest of your life. Hey guys, Coach Burt, welcome, my friends. What a day we've had, man. I started at 4:15 a.m. this morning in Chicago, Illinois. Flew back into town to get to a meeting in Laverne, big meeting in Laverne. Had a great meeting in Laverne where I was making a sales pitch on my services. Went and spoke at First Bank. Came back and did a 2-hour session with Superior Bill, one of my favorite clients. Then we just did Elam Real Estate Accelerator. And we got another sales call this afternoon and all kinds of things happening. So we got a busy day. I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina starting tomorrow night and then back in Chicago this weekend. And next week we'll be in New Jersey and some cool places. So thank you for joining us. I'm live at the Greatness Factory. I'm happy to be here with you every week. We come to you on Facebook Live, 4 p.m. on Tuesday. And I get to work with lots of salespeople. Really get to work with a lot of high-performance people. People that want more. They want more time, they want more money, they want more energy, they want more focus, they want more confidence, they want more structure, they want more discipline. And I get to work with people who are underperforming. I work with sales managers who bring me in to coach their sales teams. I work with owners of companies that want me to get elevation in their unit. I work with all types of people who are trying to get something more out of people. And part of what they have to do is go sell more. Go create. Go increase. To do that, they've got to take what they have, their product or service, and they got to take it to the world, to strangers. They've got to sell to new people. You'll never be able to grow your business if you don't sell to new people. For all the single people out there, you'll never be able to get married until you meet new people. Okay? Until you learn how to get outside of your comfort zone and meet strangers, you're never going to be able to expand and grow in what God wants us to do, which is take dominion. It's to expand, to grow, to multiply. Okay? And now that means two different things. In the Old Testament, it meant to make babies. Okay? It meant physically go multiply. In the New Testament, it means to grow and expand and take dominion over your area. Well, you can't do that if you got a fear of rejection. If you got this fear, you're never going to go out there. You're never going to push harder. You're never going to get involved. You're always going to stay in the corner. And trust me, I live from a place of fear many times in my life. And so today we're going to talk about how do you handle perceived rejection. So what's the byproduct of that for all the salespeople who are listening to me today? What's the byproduct of you having a fear of failure? Because that's the very first place people go. I was working with financial advisors today, and I said, why are you sitting in this room? You're not making $100,000 a year. You ought to be making $100,000 a year because if you're in financial services and you're not making $100,000 a year, something ain't working. It's just not working for you. Why are you sitting in this room? And I went around the room and I said, what's the real problem? Why do you have a reluctance to go out there and meet strangers and sell them products and services? And I bet 4 of the 5 or 6 people said, I got a fear of rejection. I just got done with a sales group, a real estate company. What's your reluctance? You want more money. You need more money. You want new things, but you won't make your calls every day. You won't prospect. What's the real problem? Fear of rejection. Now, I want you to think about that. I hear this over and over and over. You're single, you want to meet a new person, but you won't go anywhere where people are. I remember coaching a doctor once in Boise, Idaho, and she wanted me to teach her how to meet men. Okay? And I'm like, well, number one, I'm not Dr. Phil, girl. That's not part of what I do. But if you're asking, I'm going to tell you. I said, where do you go to meet new people? Well, I get up in the morning, I go to the gym, I go to work, I see people all day long, I go home. I get up the next day, I do it again. And I said, well, if you don't meet somebody at the gym or you're not going to date one of your patients, where are you going to meet new people at? There's nobody for you to meet. You're telling me you go to the same place every single day? I said, I got to get you out there in the world. Yeah, but what if I'm rejected? I got a fear of failure. I got a fear somebody rejected me. And so that's what we're talking about today. Now, I wrote about this in my book, Swag. How do you build, maintain, and protect your greatest asset? How do you see confidence? How do you go out there to new frontiers? I didn't know any of those people in Chicago last night. I didn't know anybody in the sales meeting I had today trying to sell my services. I don't know lots of people who watch my shows. Okay, but I know we were taught don't talk to strangers, but as you get older, you got to talk to strangers, man. You got to meet some new people. So when we come back in segment number 2, I'm going to teach you a real strategy about perceived rejection. Notice I said perceived. Because I would tell you there is no such thing in the world as rejection. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here on this segment. There is no such thing as rejection. That's what I'm going to talk about in segment 2. Another person that you're trying to pitch your product or service to, they may not want what you have to offer, but here's the beauty. Lots of other people will. I remember in college I was interested in this girl named Summer Kirk. She was beautiful, and all the guys in class was interested in her. And I got her phone number somehow, but I wouldn't call it. And I did call it one time, but she answered the phone and I was so scared I just hung up, right? It's like, I didn't call it. That's back before caller ID days. What was I afraid of? You know, she may not have wanted what I had to offer, but I will never know to this day because I never would follow through. I was afraid of rejection. Okay, we come back in segment number 2. I'm going to give you some tricks I use when I go out into the marketplace and try to sell something new. And if I have a little anxiety and fear, I'm going to show you how to get over that. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. Here's a question for you. Why do you need a coach? So many people don't understand why they need a coach. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you hit a ceiling in your life? You see, we're either dynamic and growing, we are plateaued and static, or we are entropic, which means we're dying. A good coach will come along at that ceiling of success and help you bust through that ceiling. New insight, new strategy, new energy. And here's the real deal. They'll hold you accountable to the good intention you have that you've been falling off the wagon. If you need a good coach, go to Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. Sign up today. Welcome back, Super Coach, every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Come on down to the Greatness Factory and see me. Come on, get involved in Monster Producer. And if you're out there in the world watching us, we have lots of people out there in the world. Picked up some new friends in Chicago last night. You want to get coached by me? It's real simple. Total Growth Academy. And this is how I left a voicemail for a guy today, okay, in Georgia. I love the guy. But I said this. I can't believe that I'm calling you to try to get you to spend $83 and you won't spend $83 on yourself. Now, here's my rule. If you won't spend $83 on yourself, you don't need to talk about making $830,000. You don't need to talk about making $8.3 million. If you won't spend $83 on yourself to get better, which is what the Total Growth Academy cost, for you to get all the coaching you want for a year. Okay, there's like 400 uploads in that thing. All my big coaching programs, $83 a month, totalgrowthacademy.com, and we got a special going on. But I'm going to tell you something, Brand. I'm about to take that away. If you ain't willing to spend $83 a month, that price is about to go up. That's a promotional offer. We've had this thing out for about a month now. We're updating it every week, but I'm not leaving it at $83. I can assure you of that. So if you're going to get it, you better get in and get coaching. I talk about swag, which is what I'm talking about today, in the Total Growth Academy. You can also download this Super Coach podcast, Stitcher, iTunes, Podcast Republic. Download me, Super Coach. Give me some reviews, ask questions. I would love for you to tune in every single week. Now, we're talking about how to handle perceived rejection. Okay, now let's give rejection a definition. You are interested in something or someone else. They Okay, so you make yourself vulnerable. You put yourself out there, and they in turn are not interested in you. Or someone was interested in you for a period of time, but that interest has become disenchantment. They've moved on. Now, let me tell you why this is big. In an ADHD world, ADD world, we did a show on this, how to remain relevant in an ADD world. It's getting tougher and tougher to keep a person's attention for a long period of time. There is a law of diminishing return where people just get bored. Somebody else sneaks in there. You can't give them the attention that they want. They feel so they were on board with you. They were interested in you, but they moved on to somebody else. Now, when they do, you begin to believe that you're being what? Rejected. Okay? Now, I've had to learn and come to the thought process that I'm not being rejected. The Bible talks about there's a time and season for everything. I know that there have been things that I've been interested in for a period of time, and then that interest waned. I moved on to something else. It was great for a season. The skills that got you out of Egypt can't always get you to the promised land. Some people are more valuable in the past than they are in the future. So if you're trying to stay in a person's life, let's say you're a real estate agent, and you're very interested in a person, and you're right there in the boat with them, but you got out of the boat at some point, and they use another real estate agent. You may see that as perceived rejection. But here's the deal. They're not rejecting you. They may say, I need something different than what you've got to offer. So I want to change the way you see rejection. And this is the through line of the show. This is the main thing I want to get across to you today. Okay? This is the key point of the show. There is no such thing as rejection. There is no such thing. It doesn't even exist. They're not rejecting you. Today, when you ate lunch, when you picked one place over another, when you picked Chipotle over Moe's, was you rejecting Moe's? Now, some people are going to say, yeah, that's rejection. No, you just wanted something different than what they had to offer. Maybe you like the way they cook something at Chipotle better than the way they cook it at Moe's. And so for you got to get out of your mind that there is a such thing as rejection. There's 7 billion people on planet Earth, maybe a few on Mars. Some of those people will want what you got. Some of them will not want what you got. So what? Who cares? And this is something I had to work through in my own mind. Last night I'm speaking to 200 people in Chicago. Here's the deal. Not all of them were digging it, man. I flew to Chicago. I cut my hair. I got ready. I got dressed up. It was a night event. I put on my A game. I thought I gave a good show. But I walked around that room. And there were some people like this, focused in. Yes, I'm in. I want to buy all your books. I want to sign up for a coaching program. There were some people sitting there like this. Why am I here? Why do I have to be here? What am I doing? Now, in the old days, I would have taken that as rejection. In the old days, I would have tried to win them over to my side. Okay, and I'm still competitive enough to try that. But at the end of the day, here's what I said. Some of them like me. Some of them don't like me. Who cares, man? Who cares? I came and I gave a good showing and a good shot. So I was not being rejected by those people. Maybe they weren't mature enough to hear the message. Maybe they were disinterested. Maybe they had a hard day. Maybe they're going through a tough time. We don't know. But that doesn't mean they're rejecting me. So let me give you some kryptonite as we get out of this segment. And then we'll come back in the final segment and show you how to build, maintain, and protect your confidence. We develop patterns of how we handle rejection. Now, I know in my life, many times when I felt rejected, okay, this is where a lot of downward spiral behavior comes in, okay, especially in the dating world. You feel rejected, you go into a funk, you make a bunch of bad decisions, you go back out there into the world because we always contract and retreat. We always go to a place of comfort when we feel rejected. We always want to go where we feel accepted versus rejected. So it's got to be tough on people that are single. We develop patterns of how we handle rejection, and many times they are consistent and they are destructive. What I mean by that, when we're low on confidence, we always go back to old habits in new ways. Is what you're chasing really worth catching? You're listening to Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Every week, multiplying life and money and business. And let me tell you what we got. We got one more segment, and I'm going to show you how to build, maintain, and protect the greatest asset you've ever had, and that's in your confidence. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, and I get asked all of the time, what does a good coach do? See, a good coach should engage you in a set of systematic behaviors that allows you to do something tomorrow you can't do today. They should find and fill your missing structures. They help you break through that ceiling of success that you can't break through on your own. And that, my friend, is why everybody needs a good coach in life. Check out Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. All right, welcome back, Super Coach. I got to say hi to some folks. Adam Milan, man, I hadn't seen you in a minute, my man. Owen Schrock, Tammy Lane Coleman, Thomas Love, Will Webb. Dang it, Coach, you always know how to talk exactly when I need it. I'm going to keep bringing it, brother. I got another segment right here. Melissa Markham, Coach, it is what it is. I like that right there, okay? Keep those comments coming. I appreciate you out there. Travis Peruce, good to see you, my friend. Here's the deal. We all go out into the world and we get rejected in the world. We get rejected. We go out into the world. They don't like it. We feel bad about it. We contract and retreat. And what does it make us do? It makes us gun shy. So we don't call on the next person. We don't try to meet the next girl. Here's what I want to tell you. You are worth it. You do have the goods. You are a person of interest. Somebody out there is just dying to have exactly what you got. I like to tell the story of my wife. If you've never seen, I've got a beautiful wife. And I always joke when I'm speaking. I say, if my wife would have wanted a 6-foot-tall, blonde hair, blue eyes stud, she wouldn't have wanted me, man. She wanted a little 5'6" pit bull, a little brainiac like me. That's what she wanted. So here's the deal. Those other people weren't rejecting me. I just had to wait for the right time and the right person who was interested in me. And who will accept me for who I am and what I bring to the table, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And so here's what you got to do. But if you quit knocking on doors because you're afraid of getting rejected, if you quit going out and meeting people because you're afraid of getting rejected, if you quit doing all the things because you're afraid of getting hurt, guess what you do? You're just playing scared. And as a coach, I used to say this, playing not to lose guarantees losing. And so a lot of people, when they have perceived rejection in life, they make a lot of bad decisions. I've been one of those. It sends you into a spiral. And it could be just a friend rejecting you. It could be an opposite sex rejecting you. It could be a business you're calling on that's rejecting you. But if you're ever going to be great, if you're ever going to take it all the way to the top, say what you want about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and Obama and Bush. Say whatever you want. Here's what I would tell you. At least they all had the guts to push it all the way to run for president. And that takes a lot. You get rejected every day. I see how cold-hearted people are to them as if they're not people. I see how people are negative toward them. But here's what I got to say. At least they had the guts to get in the ring. At least, it's the old Roosevelt quote. It's not the critic that counts. It's the one who got in the arena that is the one that should matter. That's the person you're trying to go after, and that's the person you're trying to emulate. Now, what happens when you get rejected? Your swag goes down. And I guarantee you there's some people out there, there's some people I'm coaching today lost every bit of their swag. Swag is confidence. Swag is energy. Swag is self-belief. Swag is how you get up every morning and put your A game on. So what do you do when you've lost all your swag because of perceived rejection? This has a lot to do with what you're feeding your mind, how you're guarding your heart, how you're guarding your confidence. So what I like to do is I diversify my confidence. You're going to hear a lot of financial advisors teach you to diversify your portfolio. Well, what I'm going to teach you is diversify your confidence. If all of my confidence is tied up in my wife and she don't feel good about me today, I'm in trouble, man. If all my confidence is in my my customers and one of them don't feel good about me today, I don't feel good about myself. If all my confidence is in an external factor and that factor changes, what if all my confidence is in my work and my work wasn't very good today? I've lost all of my confidence. So what do I have to do? I got to diversify my confidence. Okay? I got to diversify my confidence. Now, here's what I like to see. Will Webb said, I'm getting my swag back. Swag is energy. And if you read the book Swag, I talk about this. I started to write the book because one of my best friends called me one day and had lost every bit of his swag. All of it. Gone. I said, man, you used to have the most swag of anybody. When we were in high school, you had more swag than anybody. You had a lot more swag than me. But over the last 15, 20 years, all of it has been stolen. All of it has been gone. But here's the deal. You gave it up. You gave all your swag to other people. So here's what I want to close the show with and help you to understand. How you see rejection is so critical. How you see rejection is so critical in the world. I have changed my mind about rejection. I have changed my mind about rejection. I don't believe there's any such thing. Last week in our men's group, we're talking about rejection, of how we rejected God. We reject God all the time, but He still continues to love us. Even when we're broken, even when we're fragmented, even when we're a mess, even though that He gets rejected every single day. That's our example. So for you, you got to make up your mind. How are you going to view rejection? Will you let one person, now this is what's funny, Brandon, this is what's interesting to me. People go through the week and have an unbelievable week. They may help hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people, but you let one person say something negative about them. You know what they focus on all week? That one person. Okay? I had one person get on here and act crazy, act a little cray-cray. I went home that night. My mom had given me a great birthday present. I couldn't even focus on the birthday present on my birthday because I had one person get on Facebook and dog me. That's stupid on my part, man. How do I handle rejection is part of how I handle my confidence and how I go to the next level. If you're going to go big time, you got to talk to strangers. If you're going to go big time, you got to talk to new people. If you're going to go big time, you got to get off the bench and you got to put yourself in the game. Or you're going to stay small and always go back to where you feel accepted versus where you feel rejected. Every single week I come into your life on this podcast. Get the download, Super Coach, on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic. I don't think there's any such thing as rejection. If you want to pick up a copy of swag, go to CoachBurt.com. I believe in building, maintaining, and protecting your greatest asset. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here, because here's the deal. Good coach always finds a kryptonite. So one thing holding you back. Rejection could actually, man, I can't believe I didn't talk about this in the show. This is one of the greatest points of the whole show, Brandon, right here. Rejection could actually turn out to be the one thing that propels you to new and better heights. Let it be the driving force behind your greatness. I saw Tony Robbins talk about this, one of his events. Nina Lampley is one of my good buddies. She's a monster producer. She's got me turned on to Robbins a lot. And I was watching his new documentary, I'm Not Your Guru. And it was of a girl talking about how she always craved her father's love, but she never got it. And she was blaming her father for a lot of the lack of confidence that she had today. And Tony Robbins looked right at her and said this: if you're going to blame him for all the you-know-what in your life, blame him for all the good, too. Because you would not be half the woman you are today if your dad would have been what you wanted him to be when you were growing up. Now, I want you to step back and think about that, because that's strong. Most of us would not be half the person we are today if we would have had everything exactly the way we wanted growing up. It would have been served to us on a silver platter. See, sometimes getting rejected could be the greatest propulsion. Is that a word? Propulsion? It could be the greatest propeller to new and greater things in your life. It's how you see it. I've changed my mind about worry. I've changed my mind about my past. And I've changed my mind about rejection. I want you to too. Every week I come into your life, multiply life and money and business right here on the Super Coach. You can go to Greatness Network, watch all of my shows, and listen to the podcast on iTunes. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Everybody needs a good coach in life, especially when you've been knocked down. I hope this serves for you to get back up and get off the mat. I believe in you. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. How do you find the right coach for you? There's personal coaches, there's life coaches, there's business coaches, there's spiritual coaches. Here's the deal. You got to find a coach you have an affinity with. You believe the same things. I believe trained people always outperform untrained people. I believe coach people always outperform uncoached people. You got to find a coach that you think brings the knowledge and the skill and the desire and the confidence to you that will work for you. I would love to be that coach through my new Total Growth Academy. Go to CoachBurt.com, click on virtual coaching, and get coached by me every day on any device, anywhere on planet Earth.